Hello and welcome back to the Easter Bonnet Challenge. Today we're going to be doing decorating and we've got lots to get done. First up, the crown. We put our paper ermine on and what I want to do now is decorate it and make it a little bit more fancy. Although, if you like it like that, I'm trying not to turn it because I've got something here I don't want to show you yet. If you like it like that, you can leave it like that, leave it quite plain and elegant. So I've been hunting around the house trying to find things to decorate it with. The first I came across was, I was looking through the old Christmas box actually, decorations, and I found this little pom-pom type thing. And you could just stick that on. It looks quite pretty, doesn't it? I might as well just turn this around because I can't hide it terribly well. So you could put that in the middle there. Alternatively, what I was thinking of doing was edging it, and I have actually, if you can see here, edged that bit there. And what I've done that with, in my Christmas box I found one of these which go on the tree, and what I've done is I've just used my little nail scissors, which always disappear. Here they are. I've used my little nail scissors to snip. I don't know if you can see here. Across. I've used my little nail scissors to snip. Whoops, come on. It's a bit fiddly to get around the balls. Near the stars. They join the stars, but anyway, if you waggle it around. Come on, don't mess about. Off you come. If at first you don't succeed, oops, keep trying. Right, and then I've got my little star, and I've also got my little beady bit in between. So what I was thinking of doing was putting one star in here in the middle, and then another one each side, and then in the same way with the alternative crown we highlighted all the edge work we've done with black tape. I was thinking that what we would do here is edge it with these little strings of red balls, and the way to do it, there is always a way to do it, I'm just going to zoom you in a bit. So the way to do it is to cut it into short lengths. Don't try and do one piece and go all the way around because you won't get nice sharp edges. So what I've done here is just, first of all, you just measure the bit you want to cover, count the number of balls, and then just, so what's that? 1, 2, it's about there, isn't it? Count them, and then cut. Like that. And the joy is you don't have to fiddle around with lots of little individual ones. They're all just already stuck together. And then what you do, you can't really use, I wouldn't use flour paste with this because it's not really sticky enough. And also it's easier to control glue if you've got a nozzle like this. So again, this is just household glue. Run a thin line along there. Put the top back on straight away. Again, do not use super glue. I'm listening to see if you're saying it with me. Right, and then literally just pop that on there like that and try to get the balls to line up neatly so they make sharp edges here. You can actually, you might have to, I'm going to have to hold, this one wants to bend, so I'm just going to hold it like that so it makes a nice straight edge just for a few seconds while the glue dries. And this glue does dry quite quickly. Don't wiggle. I don't want this curvy, I want it to kind of follow the lines quite sharply. There. Right, so let's have a look. So this part here, I can show you. So that bit there probably requires, if I put 2 in, then I kind of have one straight piece going here. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put No, I won't put that, so I'm going to put 2 in here and I'll put 2 in there. Be careful, by the way, that you don't crush your ermine while you do this. As it's symmetrical, whatever you do on one side, it should be the same number of little balls on the other side. Right. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue here. A little bit there. Put the top back on. You could use tweezers for this, but I think it's all right. And I'm also going to put a little bit over here. That's it. Right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is this little bit here, which is, let's put it there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if I do the same that way. Now, because I am a bit of a details person, I want to just have 1 at the top. I don't want to have 2 coming next to each other like that. I want it to look quite pointed. So on one side I'm going to have 6 and on the other I'm going to have 7. Hopefully all will become clear when I do this. Let me show you. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Just going to do these one at a time. So this is the longer one, the 7. So that one wants to curve. So I'm just going to let it curve like that. That's all right. Because that follows my curve. And so I've got 1 ball at the top here. And so this piece I'm going to put in here will just tuck in underneath that one, so it comes up to a nice point. You do not have to be this finicky about it. I realise this is a bit OCD of me. 1, 2, 3, 6. I'm just going to put this bit of glue in here. Oops, that doesn't help. Right there, and it'll stay put. I've lost a bit. There it is. Right. So now, can you see? So I've just got, this is one piece coming up to here, that's 1 at the top, 1 little ball, and then the other piece I've started just underneath, so that when you turn it round, you've got a really nice point in the middle. I'm going to carry on going all the way around here, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. I just wanted to show you how far I've got before I finish. So what I decided to do in the end was to do a gold rosette in the middle, and then I'm going to put these red stars either side. The thing with these red stars though is that they're quite heavy comparatively, so if I put a blob of glue here and then put this on it, it's just going to go and slide off. So the thing to do is to get something like, I've got a little household sponge here, turn your crown sideways, or get someone to hold it for you, and so that this bit is flat. Decide where you're going to put it. I'm going to put mine, I think, about there. Put the point, it looks better if you put the point going up, and then do the usual with a blob of glue. Let's see if this slides off. You need quite a big, mine aren't flat, these stars. They've got a profile at the front and the back, so they don't sit flat. So actually what we could do, which will make it even better, is I'm going to make a little hole about here. It seems like madness, but bear with me. And then what I can do is with the pointy bit from the star, I can just, oops, drop it. I can just push it into that hole so that it actually sits flatter, if you see what I mean. So it's like that at the front, and then it's got, if I make the hole a bit bigger, it's got like somewhere to sit at the back here. So let's try, let's see what happens. So it makes more contact with the card is what I think I'm trying to say. By the way, this glue, when it touches the gold card, just very slightly takes the gold off, so just be careful you don't drip it everywhere. That's my gold going in there. And of course the other thing is that this is very cheap dye on the red beads, and that comes off very easily. So actually look, I'm just holding this, I'm just going to hold that until it's dry. I'm just going to turn it like that a little bit, I think. Can you see? Anyway, arrange it however you like it. Is that dry enough yet? That's going to take a little longer, so I'm going to just lay this down, or I'll get somebody else to hold, get someone else to hold, just while someone's reading the newspaper or whatever. This could be a little job for them. I'm going to just balance that, I think. There we are, like that, and then that can dry. See, so that bit's flat, that can dry. And I'm going to have some of my tea. The next thing, the other thing which, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll show you this. If you don't have any beads tucked away in your cupboard somewhere, and don't use your mum's jewellery, that's not good, that will not get you in good books. The alternative is, I've found, I've got these red lentils, and the way to attach these is to, if you do it like this, so pretend that's one of the pointy bits of the crown, just run a little bit of glue along here, and then put the top back on the glue. Okay, so this is an old food carton thrown away, and I've just put some red lentils in it. It'd be better if it was put out on a plate, because then you get more access, but just touch it in like that. And then it picks up a variety of red lentils like that, but you can just manipulate them a little bit. You see, like that. Just picks up a few, and then when it dries out you can sort of arrange them however you want, but I think that looks quite pretty actually. And if you want to spray them a colour or whatever beforehand, if you have, let's think, what else have we got that's like that? So chickpeas, split peas, they're kind of yellow, aren't they? These have been in the cupboard for ages, so you can probably get some which are a bit redder than that. But I think that looks quite nice as a sort of just an edging to show off the fancy cutting that you've done. Right, let's see now if this is dry. There we are, ta-da! Now I'm going to do one on the other side, and then I've got one more thing to do, and then it's finished. This one's now stuck on. Do you know, it's amazing what you find when you have a route around the house. Look, in my Christmas box, I found in my purple box, I've got some more of these, and this is a bigger star. So what I'm going to do is snip one of those stars out, and I'm going to put that star in the middle. Now this is a bit bouncy, so I'm just going to get rid of this loop in the middle here. I've still got that little staple there holding that together. I just think that will look quite jolly and exciting. and not quite so red and black, which is a little bit like a sort of Russian army commander or something. Oh, sorry, red and gold. Right. I don't want this to look military, I want it to look regal. Right, I'll put some glue in there. I think I'll put a bit more because this is quite a big star. And it's already lying face up, so I should be able to just position this. Press it down. I've got my hand behind, so I'm holding it. I don't know if that's too much, but can you have too much if it's a crown? Possibly not. Right, I'm just going to hold that until that dries, which could take quite a while, so I'll come back when it's dry. The sharp-eyed of you might have noticed this on the table, and here is my crown, nearly finished, not quite finished, with some more decoration on it, and I've put this lovely purple one, which is a little bit bigger, in the middle, which is just surprisingly perfect. Now, the last thing I'm going to do on this is add a little bit of purple behind, like that, which I think will just make it perfect, which would normally be a fabric of some sort, like velvet. Purple is very regal and royal. I don't have any purple fabric, so I'm going to use tissue paper, which is fine. So I'm going to take that off, move the head out of the way. I'm going to cut enough to fill the centre of the crown. This is just very rough cutting, as you see. This tissue paper, I think, came with this wrapping for a bunch of flowers, which I had some time ago. I always keep the tissue paper because it's such lovely colours, and because you can do things like this with it now. So pinch it in the middle, put the rest of it down like that, so it's like a big tissue, pull it through, and then what we're going to do is just put the ends of it. I want it to be a little bit more. I'm going to now turn Right, that didn't work, so I'm going to try a different way. I'm going to, I'll tell you what we'll do. I was thinking I could do it as a square, but actually it's easier if you just cut it into a sort of circular shape to start with. So I'm just going to cut these corners off. Cut it round like that. We should end up with a sort of circle. There you go, sort of, well, roughly sort of circle. So, turn this way, so you're working on the inside, and just sellotape down right, so I'm going to turn this so you can see what I'm doing. Just sellotape down the edges, just pleat it a little bit like that. Tape it down. So I actually, to make sure it's even, do a little bit at the back and the front. I've done the front. Pleat it like that. Pleat it like this. And we're going to tape it to the inside of the crown. We'll do a little bit more here, so just bubble it over. Just do one of the sides. You don't want to run out of fabric, and then sellotape underneath to the inside of the crown. Sellotape goes on the inside. I'll just do this side here. I don't know if this is clear or not. And there, piece of sellotape, come on, like that, half on, half off. and the sellotape to the inside. So what you should end up with what you should end up with is something that looks a bit like that. Now, when you go around, so all the spare edges, you can just, it's easier now to just get round and tape them down. There's less tissue to play with. I'm just going to go all the way around because this is a bit fiddly, so I want you to kind of see what I'm doing. Now I've got this sort of bit here, so I'm just going to take that edge, take it inside, sellotape it inside. I've got there. Right, so and I think I've got a little bit of an edge here, so I'll just put a bit of tape on that. That's it. Now, you should end up with something like that, and you can make this, rearrange it however you like. If you don't want it so high, you can put it down. And there we have it. Fit for a king or a queen.